Hello, my lovely English 9 class. How are you? I miss you. I hope you're all doing well. We are moving into week 2 of our public speaking unit. Now, some of you did not finish week 1 of the public speaking unit, so I just want to say it's okay. Technically, the weeks go from Monday to Monday, so you should have your first speech done today. But if you don't, that's okay. Do that and get it done. I would say do that so I can give you feedback before you do this next week's speech, because that's how we learn, right? Is we get some feedback. If I say I can't hear you, then you can work on being louder. Or if I can't say I can't understand what you're saying, you're kind of mumbling, then you can work on your articulation. Okay, or if maybe it's just too dark in your room and I can't really see what you're doing, that would be good for you to know too, that you need more light. So please get that Flipgrid video done, the first one, before you submit the second one, so I have some time to give you some feedback. Okay, but let's take a look at week 2, what your assignments are. So I just mentioned some of the things that we're going to focus on this week. One is volume, and the best way to increase your volume is to have good breathing. So the first thing you'll do is watch a video where we do some silly exercises to work on breathing properly, not breathing from up here, but breathing from down in your belly. Okay? The second thing is articulation, not mumbling. Nobody can understand you if you don't open your mouth and say things clearly. So this video is super silly. I will just warn you, you're going to feel crazy, so you might want to watch that like in your bedroom with nobody else in the room, or in your bathroom, somewhere where you can have some privacy, because you're going to feel silly and look crazy. Okay? Then you get a break from being silly and you can watch an Edpuzzle. It's Barack Obama before he was president. Back in, I believe it was 2004, he spoke at the Democratic National Convention. He was just a state senator from Chicago. He wasn't even a senator in like Washington, D.C. for the country. He was just a senator for his state. And he gave the speech and people went, whoa, who is this guy? And then 4 years later, he ran for president and won. So it just shows you how powerful good public speaking can be. So watch that Edpuzzle, and there are just a few easy questions along the way. And then you can start thinking about your speech. The speech this week that you're going to give is all about you. It's not meant to be difficult as far as the topic. You are going to speak about some things that you'd like us to know about you, and you're going to use 5 visual aids. So you need 5 things you can hold up. So you can be like, I really love water. I think hydration is important, and my skin looks better if I drink a lot of water. That's just an example. You might say something like, I love video games, and so I brought this video game controller to show you that this is really important to me. This is how I spend a lot of my free time. This is actually my son's remote control car controller. I don't let him play video games yet because he's only 6. But you see my point. You're going to have 5 objects that you're going to show us to help you tell us more about who you are and what's important in your life. I do have an example video on Flipgrid. So if you want to just log into Flipgrid and watch my example video to kind of get an idea of what I mean of holding up 5 things while you speak, you can take a look. But really the point this week is to work on your breathing so that you have better volume, and to work on your articulation so we understand more what you're saying. Okay? So it's an easy speech as far as the content. You don't have to do any research because it's all about you. And you can focus more on speaking clearly and speaking loudly. Okay? So there's an all about me preparation sheet. Let's take a look at that really quick. You're going to go through and say what's your hook, how are you going to get people's attention, and then what's your purpose statement, what are we going to know that we don't already know. So you might just say something like, today I'm going to tell you 5 important things about my life so you get to know me better. And then actually write down what are these 5 things that you're going to share and what visual aids. So if something that's really important to you is your family, what is something that you could hold up and show us while you're talking about your family? If something really important to you is music, what could you show us as you're speaking to represent music? Okay, so you got to think of 5 visual aids that will help you tell us about yourself. And then what will your conclusion statement be? Remember, you don't want to just end by saying, that's it, or I'm done. If you watch my example speech in Flipgrid, you'll see that I messed up at the end. See if you can see what I did at the end that you should not do. And then the last question there is, how are you going to improve your articulation and volume for the speech? So if you did those practice exercises, number 1 and number 2, those 2 videos to practice, you'll have some good ideas of what you can do to be louder and more articulate. And so what I'm looking for as I give you a grade this week, I want to see those 5 visual aids. I'm looking for a speech that's about 3 minutes long, no more than 5. I love you, but I don't need you to talk for 30 minutes about yourself. Okay, I'm going to look for, did you use a hook? Did you give me a purpose statement? Did you tell 5 things about yourself and have 5 visual aids to show? And then did you end your speech well? Not by saying that's it. And I'm looking for, did you have good eye contact, looking at the screen? Did you speak loudly enough for me to hear? Were you articulate? Could I understand what you were saying? And was your speech about 3 minutes long? Maybe 5, not much more than that. Okay? And then I will tell you what I thought was really good about your speech and what I think you can work on next time to make your speech better. So I hope that you have a lot of fun this week, being silly with those silly exercises and then telling us about yourself. I think this is a speech that a lot of students usually like because you get to share who you are with the people in our class. So I hope it goes well. As always, if you have any questions, email me. You could use that number that I gave you. I think it's also in Canvas. And I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great week and good luck with your All About Me speech.